Welcome to Broadcast. Welcome to the Proudly Broadcast.
And welcome back to another edition of That Comedy Podcast. I'm your host, DJ Marcus. You're joining me live in the That Comedy Studios, but I'm never alone in the studio. I'm with my boy, Joey LaFaro. Joe, say hello to people.
Happy.
Oh man, Joey, it's going to be a good week this week, man. Shit is going good for us in that comedy. Shit is going good in the world right now. White folks still fighting over in Ukraine. I ain't got shit to do with that. My life seems pretty good, Joey.
Did something happen with that? I kept hearing things, but I don't remember what it was about.
I don't think anything new happened. No. Putin took over like 5 states.
Oh.
And he said he's not giving them back no matter what happens.
Okay.
So even if like they lose the war, he's like, these are mine now. Fuck y'all. And he had like there was 4. It was 4 different territories, and he had the.
So he's George Bush. He's declaring victory when the war's still going on.
Yeah, basically. Okay. And he also had the 4 like presidents of those countries.
Testing 1 2 3.
There we go. Testies 1 2 3.
Oh, y'all can hear me this week? This is wonderful.
Yeah, we can.
Okay, go ahead and continue what you were saying.
Okay. That's Candace August for all y'all listening right now. Joining us on the CPMMA fight line. But yeah, Joey, so he took a picture, right? Mm-hmm. Now, normally you don't know how tall Putin is unless someone really tall is standing next to him.
He's always riding a bear. That's what.
But this time he had 4 really tall men standing around him, and you can just see how short he is. Because it is right angle.
I pictured him as like 6'3".
No, it looked like it's like 5'8".
What?
Yeah, all tyrannical people are short.
Yeah.
Joey LaFaro.
Mm-hmm.
Joey LaFaro is the tyrant of comedy in DC.
How am I a tyrant?
Huh?
If I was a tyrant, I would be making more money. Like, I'm the least successful tyrant that's ever tyranted.
Yeah, that's true. You're not very successful.
Apparently, he's nope.
How tall is Putin?
So I'm getting mixed messages from the internet.
There's no way he's 5'8".
Week.co.uk has him at an estimated 5'7". Quora.com says 6'2".
That's what I'm saying. I feel like I've seen him standing next to Donald Trump in a picture, and Donald Trump's like 6 feet tall. And I feel like he wasn't
6'3".
They shoot him at angles so he looks tall.
I feel like I don't remember Donald Trump towering over him as it, you know what I mean? Like maybe how tall is Donald Trump?
Okay, according to published reports, he's 5'7".
Okay, all right, fine.
He is Tom Cruise level height.
Yes, he is. See?
Yeah, look, you got the picture of him sitting next to Trump. He's like a half a head shorter.
Okay, all right. In my memory, they were the same height.
No.
Yeah, all the pictures they took were from angles where he looks taller.
Or where they were
Okay.
sitting.
They were sitting, yeah.
Or they were that's probably what it was. Probably saw them sitting. You're right. Wow,
Yeah,
5'7". There was a book I read about like success and successful habits, and it was saying the percentage of CEOs that are over 6 feet tall. Like just the presence in their stature, right, of being tall, like somehow contributes to success and promotions and things like that, because people I don't know, perceive you as more successful or more powerful if you're taller.
Yeah. I can see
It's
that.
the same reason that women date tall guys. Like, what are you?
Very true. I mean,
Yeah, and like most of the U.S. presidents are 6 feet or taller. Like it was very interesting. But like they were saying, I want to say the percentage was maybe 70% of
Oh,
American CEOs are 6 feet or higher.
I'll follow that.
I think Gerald Ford was not Gerald Ford. Who's the guy that builds the houses?
Look, you either look at small creatures with fear, like an elephant looks at a mouse,
Yeah.
or predatory instinct, like a cat looks at a mouse.
No, who was
Yeah.
the president that builds houses? Carter?
Huh?
Does Carter build the houses?
The only things that look at smaller creatures for leadership are slow creatures,
Oh, true.
like of mice and men. Like,
Yeah. Yeah, true. Lenny was a smaller one, so he had to take the big. What was the big guy's name?
Lenny was the big guy.
No, Lenny was the other guy.
George was.
I'm pretty. No, Lenny was the guy who killed the mouse.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Lenny was the retard.
And okay, Marcus. And then George was the brother or whatever, cousin. I
say
can't remember.
retard no more. The book
You
was
never
made
could
in,
say
like,
retard.
was gonna happen.
the 1800s. If we can't call him a
I knew
retard,
as soon as I brought it up, we were heading there.
yeah, we can't call him that.
What?
in
Mentally challenged one. How about that? Let's be politically correct.
That's not politically correct. He was retarded.
Mentally challenged? Okay, all right.
We got
intellectual disability, Candace. That's the functioning current term.
intellectual disability.
I learned that from Umar Khan. He did, and he
Is
had
that the new term? I like that though. That sounds good. An intellectual disability.
it's got too many syllables.
Yeah, it's too hard.
It's too.
You have to go retarded so that people go, okay, I know what's wrong with him.
You need something that the person that has the condition can say.
But I also think that intellectual disability sounds like it can encompass a lot more stuff. So mentally challenged sounds like someone who is, to use Marcus's crude terminology, retarded. But intellectual disability sounds like you could be, of average intelligence, just not the smartest, the sharpest tool in the box. And you just, you know what I mean? And you're intellectually disabled.
Okay, so I guess I'll go back to what Lenny was. And
Retarded
Lenny,
leaves no room for, like, exactly what I mean when I say retarded. Intellectually disabled, you could be a little, you know what I'm saying?
Lenny and what's his name from the Green Mile, Michael Clark Duncan, both intellectually debilitated.
I'm tired, boss.
When did we start that? When did we start intellectually disabled? That's fancy.
I don't know.
Now
That's new.
Umar said it wasn't very well publicized in his set.
yeah, it's not taught to.
He's like a counselor or something.
Yeah.
So he is his day job, or at least that's what he says. He could be
Here's
lying.
the one that I always thought was stupid. Little people. Like, to me, midget sounds better. Like, little people sounds.
To them, what they want to identify as.
You can't call little people midgets.
Midget sounds better than little people. Little people sound just like condescending, like they're a fucking cartoon or something.
Unless they're out doing midget stuff.
I still don't remember what the context of that was.
It's like you can't call them the M word unless they're doing M word stuff. Like if you see,
Like what is offensive about midget? It's a medical term like dwarf, I thought.
if you see an M word getting thrown like a lawn dart, that's an M word. But when you see him acting in Game of Thrones, that's a little person.
That's not.
At least. Well, you see them pulling pranks on buses and making people go, "Oh my God, don't hurt that baby," and it comes up to be an M word. That's an M word.
Okay, I like the way you've said retarded at least a half a dozen times, but won't say midget. This is killing me.
Listen, those midget niggas need to just go on about their goddamn business.
Those retarded midget niggas need to shut their faggot mouth up. No, I'm just joking. Y'all, that was every slur, right? Was that all of them?
Pretty much.
They can sneak up on you.
Joey can't say any of those words. Joey, of everybody on the podcast, Joey's the one to get ran out of town on a rail for saying any of those words.
Someone tried to call me out on a live because I was talking about I had the most bizarre experience with our lineup from this past Thursday show because they were all on time.
Wow.
Extremely on time.
Yeah.
And then like none of them wanted their drink ticket.
Was that the all headliner show?
No, that's not until till November 19th at McGinty's Public House on Saturday, November 19th, 8:00 p.m. Headliners only.
That seems to be the only show that anyone has any interest in.
No, the reason why I asked. No, the reason why I asked is you said everybody was on time, and I'm like, that's because they're all headliners, so they're very professional. That's why I thought it was that show.
No.
That's on November 19th. But
at McGinty's Public House in downtown.
But shout out that it's coming. Get your tickets now. At comedyshows.near.me. But you can just go there. It's a featured event, and then it'll be the only one. But
a featured event so far.
No, this was our regular Thursday show. We actually retroactively. I didn't realize. Like, you ever forget your anniversary? And didn't realize we forgot to do that. Like, we had our anniversary with Comedy Shows Near Me, or our 6-month anniversary.
Okay.
Wow, nice.
We just didn't even realize that milestone had happened. But this has been officially 6 months that we've been
happy anniversary, Joey and Marcus. Awesome.
Thank you.
So
that's good.
But we had a surprise visit from Leon Scott because I left my joke book at his room on Tuesday last week, where I was doing a set instead of being here. So he was kind enough to bring it, and he was a surprise guest spot. So we had him, and we had Demi Chang, and we had Anwar Fikri, who was a guest on the podcast a few weeks ago. And Chuck Best hosted, and we had Keith Corey and Maria Sanchez.
A group of very funny people.
Oh, it was great. I think the only reason that Maria was on time was because she thought that the show started at 7, but
because she's a Baltimore comic, right?
Yeah, she had Chuck's based out of Baltimore now too.
So she had to leave at 5:30 to get there by 7.
Probably. But she absolutely destroyed it. She's fantastic.
Amazing fucking job.
But I was talking to her about that today because like almost half the lineup or more all said they didn't drink, and I had these drink tickets that I asked the venue to give us, and I'm like, well, shit, they're not good for
anything else.
I mean, they use it. She got a ginger beer, she said. But then one of the comics on the podcast or on the live with us said, well, that's because they thought you were going to Jeffrey Dahmer them. And I'm like, just because I'm the lightest skinned person on this live does not make me look like Jeffrey Dahmer. Like, that's a reach.
No, you don't look like Jeffrey Dahmer at all.
No, I was like, first of all, he had hair.
Joey, if Joey was chopping people up and eating them and putting them in his freezer,
I got up for a second. We're talking about Dahmer already? Okay, I'm ready. Let's go.
Second of all, I'm giving out drink tickets. I'm not mixing the drink.
You're not making the drink yourself.
So
wait, what happened? What did I miss? I got up for 1 second and we were talking about Dahmer. What happened?
We weren't talking about Dahmer. We were talking about Joey being Dahmer. See, black comics do this fun thing where they'll say all white people look alike.
Yeah, that definitely happened today.
And it's not true because white isn't a real thing. The only whites that look alike are the inbred ones. So all the queens and kings of Europe all look alike. But anyone outside of that don't look nothing near each other. I'm a firm believer that no one really looks like each other except for Asians.
Not true. I think
Asians all look alike.
But
that's because Asians are aliens and they came here and they populated the planet and did all the genetic sequencing.
That was like the whole basis of Demi Chang's set. She was just saying, I can just leverage whatever stereotype I want to fit the situation.
Yeah.
Because everyone thinks Asians look alike. Shout out to Debbie Chang. She also killed it. We had a good show. Actually, we had the last two shows. We had Robert Mack the week before that.
Yeah, I missed that one. Damn it.
And both of our headliners said they kind of had they had a high from the show, like carrying into the next day.
Good. That's what we need, man.
With something you want to hear. So that was cool.
Maybe at some point Candace will do the show.
Yeah, I'm trying to get back out to DC as soon as I can. I really want to do the show. It looks super fun.
Well, you better get my inbox soon because I don't have a headliner spot open until January right now.
Well, I could do a guest spot if I'm in town. I mean, I'll find other gigs.
Is it coming? You're supposed to headline, Candace. Like we coordinated this.
Okay, all right. Next time I'm flying because Amtrak fucked me in the asshole.
Oh yeah.
Candace does an opening spot, just like all the other people who we watch videos.
I mean, I will say this: like, it's probably a good thing that you waited because like the tips coming through are starting to gain steam.
Oh yeah, they getting them tips.
Like the first couple shows we had the idea we had a bunch of different ideas for tips, but nothing was really getting in there. They put the jars out, and that wasn't really. But like at some point in the last like month or two, that piece has come through. I think every comic walked away with like $30.
So all you have to do for tips, I don't know, this is probably exactly what you're doing, but you just have to have something where you can put their Cash App up behind them while they're performing. Is that what you're doing?
No, we had a link tree for it so that people could tip them in directly, but it was too complicated. People were afraid to try and like look people up during it. We have a screen where we can display stuff, but people it just wasn't consistent. People can't see it from certain seats. What we have is jars on the table, and we have our Cash App and Venmo there, so they can Cash App or Venmo the show, and then we count it up and distribute it.
Okay, because an alternative way would be just to find a way to project their Cash App name behind them while they're performing.
Well, that would be an awesome thing to do, but we would need a bigger screen for that.
Yeah,
and our budget's limited.
we tried that at first.
Yeah,
and we ran out of room on the screen.
The screen isn't big enough, and then people also then you're depending upon them to have their phones out and
right.
It's people don't feel
which is also distracting from the show.
Yeah, exactly. That was one of the complaints we got when we try to do it that way. So this way they can scan it on the table, discreetly, and it's not a big distraction. And then on top of that, it's like,
or they can scan it at the end of the show.
That too,
and then go, oh yeah, I liked all of them, so I'm gonna give $10 to the whole show.
Yeah,
instead of trying to figure it out in the middle of somebody's set.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So it's been we found that's been this has been trial and error for 6 months, and now it's starting to gain steam.
Oh yeah, we starting to walk, man. These the comedy shows near me is actually on its feet now.
Mm-hmm.
We're trying to walk. We're going to run by. I probably say our year anniversary. We'll be running.
Our website's up.
We're
working on some improvements to that too. So we should be able to start allowing people to not only post their show, but run their ticketing through us as well.
We'll have some workshops coming up in the near future.
Yep.
We got a whole bunch of stuff on the horizon, man. Comedy Shows Near Me is doing big things. I don't have anything to do with Comedy Shows Near Me. I'm DJ Marcus, home of the Comedy Podcast. I'm paid as an entity by Comedy Shows Near Me.
Well, we're going to have more guests from the shows on.
Are we?
That's the plan.
Whose idea was that?
You can actually, where you can find the Comedy Podcast on comedyshowsnear.me.
Yes, you can find the Comedy Podcast. We need to set up a video where we can do the live feed from the website.
That's more money that I have to spend.
The company has to spend.
I mean, ideally the company would spend it, but the company doesn't have money to spend right now. So
okay, we'll do that. That's when we're running.
Okay, yeah, that sounds like a running item.
Yeah, we're right now. We got the wobbly legs like Bambi in the beginning of the movie.
Yeah,
we're still working the kinks out. We're gonna get it where it needs to be. Well, at least somebody is. DJ Marcus works on the Comedy Podcast. And he does this thing here every Tuesday night where he spins hits and makes people feel good about themselves. Joey didn't like that.
No, I'm woozy. I don't know what's wrong with me.
You ate that shitty ass sandwich.
That
That's going to
sandwich-
Potbelly.
That sandwich really like hit all the wrong buttons. Like you know how sometimes you go and you eat food and then it like hits the spot.
Mm-hmm.
This was the opposite of that.
Hit
It's
the
like,
other spot.
yeah, it would hit the wrong spots.
Hit
Like,
the B hole instead of the A hole.
I don't know. I'm like, listen, I don't never have had an Italian cold cut sandwich that tasted like ham.
It was the cup of coal.
No.
It was the cooler.
All right.
I mean, that's what's on there, pork on the Italian sandwiches.
Yes, but it's seasoned pork.
It
Mhm.
tastes like basic
It's
ham.
not. It's not. Yeah, this tastes like whole Virginia country ham.
It's like cold cuts, like Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, this tasted like some bullshit ham. This is like no, like on an Italian sandwich, you're gonna have ham, but it's gonna be gabagool or it'll be prosciutto. It'll be a
Right.
cured ham that's cured with spices or salt or something.
Accurate.
This was like honey ham bullshit. Like, and I didn't order the proper like if I was gonna have that type of ham and cheese bullshit, I would have got mustard on it because that's the only way to balance that shit out. But they didn't. I didn't order appropriately for that.
Okay. I mean, you live and you learn, Joey. You know what you learned this time? Don't buy food for fucking Potbelly.
White people fucking up shit. Like, don't order Italian food from.
You should have went right next door to Potbelly and got yourself some Chipotle.
I don't want to hurt that much.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt going down. It hurts
No,
coming
hurt
out.
later. I need to sleep tonight. I didn't sleep last night because I ate Chinese food late.
Oh, Jesus.
I ate that King carry out.
Why'd you go to King?
Because the only place open.
Kenny's is,
I don't know why-
Kenny's is right there.
I ordered online. It was the only place that came up online.
Kenny's closes at...
But it was delicious. They have amazing crispy beef.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, it my body didn't like it.
Yeah, Kenny's is my spot. That's where I get my Chinese food and my subs from. Kenny's Sub Shop on Route 1.
I'm familiar with Kenny.
Shout out to the little Asian lady that smiles a little bit when I come in. I like you too. Just don't get it twisted. I saw your husband. I'm gonna turn her on to the podcast and see what happens. I might get some Blasian babies after all, Joey.
Oh my God! I thought you just said she has a husband. Stay
That don't
focused.
mean nothing. It's 9 months of play before the husband find out.
What?
Wow.
That's 10 months.
What rabbit hole are we going down right now?
I don't know.
Baby, Joey. I've always said this. I don't know why everyone has the issue with that.
Like, I can't even react to this because earlier I was on a live and someone put the whole coochie out. So
Whole coochie?
yes.
On live?
Yep.
That happens.
This happened.
It
Are
happens.
you on live with Joseph?
Well,
Who was it? Who was it, Joey?
The Ratchet Round Table.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Those individuals are prone for something like that.
It's all just shit talking and yeah.
Well, pull your pussy out, huh? That'd be my reaction to the whole. What? This happening now? It's 8 o'clock in the morning.
I was like, it is early for y'all to be doing this.
Oh my goodness. But yeah, man, that is interesting. So we got to dig into that when they come on, Joey. Are we supposed to be having them on?
We will have it from that crew. We'll have a bit of a crossover episode with Maria Sanchez and Chuck Best next week.
Awesome, man. That's gonna be a fun episode, man. Those two seem like an interesting grouping of people.
Well, see, Chuck is more like a recurring guest star, as am I.
Y'all are on major players.
We aren't major players on that channel yet, but there's a few others that are. But we're gonna go for the people we know.
There you
to
go.
do the introductory.
All right. Hey, sounds good to me, man. Any new people is always good fun. New people, man.
But we have one of them. Big Vino is on it, and he'll be doing comedy shows near me in December. So
okay.
Big Vino, who is that?
He is a very funny man out of Virginia Beach. Come up and do our show.
Yeah. The Ratchet Roundtable spans the the
Not the
Maryland
Breakfast Round Table.
area.
It spans all on up and all over the place. They get
Oh, really?
there's some other comics from outside. I mean, there's been one gentleman in Florida. There's been a couple others in New Jersey, and
Did we say whose pussy it was? I missed that.
no,
No,
it wasn't a comedian. So let me put it that way.
Oh, okay.
Good.
All right, fine.
Now Candace isn't interested anymore.
Yeah, I mean, because like if it's not somebody that I know, then I can't be like, ooh, you know what I mean? Like if he's like, oh, it was Jane, and I don't know the person, then it's no longer interesting.
No,
Okay, that's fine. I mean, pussy 8 o'clock in the morning is always a good thing.
8 o'clock in the morning. Good Lord, who's pulling that pussy out at those hours?
it was too early in the morning on a weekday
On a
for
Tuesday.
me to be ready for that.
It's like I was not expecting to see a vagina at 10 o'clock in the morning on Tuesday. Except for the one I live with. So where the hell is this coming from?
There was a lips conversation, and then and then someone went, see?
Oh, it came as a proof moment.
Yeah.
It was a proving time moment. Okay, I get it.
So
So anything else happened to you this week, Candace?
I hit 50 camps at my boot camp. Like when you hit, yeah, remember guys, I was telling you that I wanted to hit 50 camps because you get to sign the wall and everything. So I hit 50 camps. So the next time when I go in, I should be able to sign the wall. I'm like official.
Okay.
And I lost another 3 pounds, which is awesome.
There you go.
I quit keto. I'm not fucking doing keto anymore. Here's the thing. I'm just gonna like control portions and eat healthy balance because I wasn't really losing with keto. So I was willing to eat that way if I was actually losing weight, but I wasn't. So it was just like, I'm not going to fucking stuff pounds of fat into my body if it's not actually helping me lose weight. So I just went back to just a regular balanced diet, super low carbs.
It takes a while to a lot of effort to maintain it.
Mm-hmm.
So I understand that.
Yeah,
Well,
it wasn't working.
I'm currently down 27 pounds.
Wow, that's amazing. Yes.
Yes, I broke up with another girl who was a little smaller.
Okay, shut up. I hate you.
I am light another 27 pounds, Joseph.
You got me so excited. Shut up.
I clapped for that.
Me too. I did. I got tricked. I got sucked in. God damn it.
I'm actually doing better. I don't even know how I'm doing right now. I've been trying to do more, like to be more active. My body tells me no, but my mind is telling me yes.
All right, R. Kelly.
No, that was R. Kelly. It was the other way around. His mind was telling him no, but his body was
All
saying.
you have to do is get your steps in. You have a Fitbit. Try to hit 10,000 per day.
I'm at 7,853 right now in a day.
Nice. Let me see what I'm at right now.
Wearing that thing.
I average 8,000 steps a day.
That's amazing. I'm only at 4,100 today, right now, and I did a full 45 minutes of boot camp and everything.
Mine was, and it was all actual movement today because I had to actually do work today. So
I don't get a lot of movement. I sit at a desk.
Yeah, I'm at a desk all day, so like there's no opportunity for me to get steps in outside of maybe my workouts. But then I have to like remember to start and stop the workout thing. And I quit. I gave up. At this point, I'm just doing the workouts I was prescribed.
Okay.
And I'm gonna get a little bit back on track next week. That's my target.
Yeah, that's mine too. I gotta get a stretch routine together.
Yeah,
because the muscles in my back are firing horribly. Like every day I wake up and if I take 2 steps off my bed, it is showtime, and every muscle tightens up.
Get a massage.
Cat, dog, whatever the fuck they call it now.
Get a massage and also do yoga. Yoga is literally just a whole class of stretching, different stretches. And they have hot yoga. Huh?
it's crazy. I was gonna do yoga. I was planning to do all that too, right? I have a fear, and it's an unrealistic fear, but it's also a realistic fear.
Mm.
I have a fear of cramping when I'm in a position and not being able to get out of it.
Oh, yikes. Yeah.
Because when I cramp up horrible.
Mm-hmm.
And like Joey's seen me cramp up, but not as bad as it could be. Like you
Just make sure you're hydrated before you go to class. Is it dehydration that makes you cramp up?
I have no fucking clue. I don't think my blood. Well, my blood's got better circulation now because my cardiologist said that my heart's looking a lot
You're more
better.
likely to cramp up from like sudden movements or
Yeah.
over exertion of a muscle group. So as long as you're doing it,
it's dehydration and also lack of potassium. Those things help you. Those things cramp you up. So if you
I
are
take a large potassium pill every day.
yes,
Mhm.
So it's not a potassium thing. It's just I think it's muscle shock whenever I do some strenuous stuff.
Okay.
Because I've been sedentary for a long time.
Yep.
I know I'm veal over here, but I try my best to be the most active veal I can at work now. So I'm running around. I wear my back brace. Joey saw me in my
I
back
don't think
brace
you're
earlier.
young enough to be considered Breel.
Veal. I'm old enough to be.
Now you're Breel. Veal's a young calf.
Yeah, so I'm veal. I'm a young calf.
Oh,
I'm tender. That's what veal is. It's just tender meat. But yeah, so I'm trying to get more active, especially at work, and that way I can do more when I get home.
Mm-hmm.
Like today, I was ripping and running. Like it was one of those days where I took the myriad of pills that my doctor gave me, and then as soon as I took them, I ate a honey bun and drank drank about 14 ounces of Sprite, and I was shot out of barrel, baby. I was gone.
Why are you intaking that much sugar? Why?
That's how you start the day, and then you don't intake any more sugar the rest of the day.
That's too much. A honey bun and 3 Sprites is more sugar than you should have in like a month.
3 Sprites. I said 14 ounces of Sprite.
Whatever. That's more sugar than you should have in a month. That's a lot of sugar.
It's a lot.
It's not more than you should have in a month. I should have at least 95 grams of sugar a day.
That's what the doctor said? That can't be right.
It's not right at all.
That can't be right. That's a
gram.
You don't need a kilogram.
I think you're supposed to have like 5 or 10 grams of sugar a day.
You don't need any sugar a day.
I need my diabetes up so I
exactly.
can do more work. Forget my diabetes up, I can do more work. I'm more active that way.
God.
Well, gotta die of something. Might as well
You
die.
trying to add diabetes to the heart problem? Like, what are you doing?
No, my beaties is in check. I've actually been checked for beaties a couple times.
Okay.
I put that in check.
I get checked for it every year because it runs in my family. My mom has it and her mom had it. So far I'm doing well. We'll see. Next year could be the year.
Checked for the colorectal cancer because that runs in my family.
Ooh, yikes. That's a bad one.
I refuse to let them.
Somebody put their finger in your butt.
Yeah, it's not happening.
Let your girl do it.
I'm waiting until I'm 40 and I can.
Let your girl do it.
I don't think that's how that works.
Loosen you up. She does.
I waited. He has to have a doctor examine it. His girl sticking his finger up there is not.
If she does it,
that's just an awkward moment for her. You're proposing.
If she does it first, it loosens it up. That way, when the doctor does it, it just goes.
Oh, you mean for him to like get accustomed to it?
Yeah,
No.
get ready for it.
That's not. There's no getting ready for having a camera shoved up your asshole.
Yeah, there is. See how big the camera is and check which finger of hers is
All right.
as big as the diameter of the camera.
I think you're mixing up prostate doctors.
With colorectal. It's not the same thing.
Yeah,
It's in the same. Yeah,
same hole, different depths.
exactly.
Well, tell her use
The
her long
prostate
finger.
is like up the button around the corner. That's a short trip.
Okay.
The colon, they have to stick a camera on a tube and it runs into your colon.
Ah, I ain't getting that.
You need to. You're my age. Soon we're when you hit 40, you're supposed to start getting
My
those.
doctor did warn me of that when I was like 26.
Mhm.
She was like, "Yeah, you're way too young for it now." It hasn't mentioned it since.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Well, because I think I had a hernia, or like I pulled a muscle, something happened, and it was like it was just painful in my back and in my nether regions. And she was like, "Well, I can either put you under for like put you up for surgery to repair it, or you can take a couple weeks and just see if it'll heal itself." And I went, "All right, I'll see if it heals itself, because I'm not going under a knife in my genital area, because that's you don't come back from that, Joey. You don't come back.
You had a hernia in your genital area?
No, it wasn't a hernia. It's just a strain. I think I strained a muscle.
Like a pulled groin?
Yeah, I think okay, so what happened was I think I clenched, came and unclenched all at the same time. So everything.
Why do you have so many biomechanics issues?
I don't stretch.
Why does your body fire out of sequence so
I don't
often?
stretch very well. So when all that happened at one time, I think it all kind of collaborated in one moment, and it just caused me pain for a little while. And my doctor said, as long as it doesn't burn when you pee, you don't have to come see me. So I took that advice very well, and I do well with that every month. Okay. I make sure I don't have to go see her, and my cardiologist says I'm doing better. So cheers to Marcus. DJ Marcus will live another 364 days.
Wait, a pulled groin makes it burn when you pee?
No, she said as long as it doesn't burn when I pee, I don't have to come see her.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
Because when it starts burning when you pee, that means you've done something horribly wrong to your body.
Yeah, usually.
Yeah, I mean, you have some sort of infection, either an STD or a urinary tract infection.
Yep.
It means you put your penis in the wrong place.
Because
not always. It could just be a bladder infection.
Yeah, any other pain down there is muscular.
Yeah, it means you put it in the toilet instead of a hooker, but it's still the wrong place.
Wrong hole, wrong time. Is that what we're saying to that?
Wrong hole, wrong venture. What?
Speaking of medical testing, I got my first mammogram 2 weeks ago.
I'd have gave you one of those.
Okay. First of all, it has to do with MRI imaging machines, so you can't do it.
Yeah, I'm a ram you.
Is that the one where they smash the titty?
Yes.
Oh my God, they smashed the shit out of my titties. I thought it was gonna rip off my body, both of them. I was like, you got to do all of that? Jeez.
They got a machine big enough for that?
That's a big ass machine.
So it's open and then it closes in, right? So it's open to where, the hugest of titty could fit in there, and then they squeeze it all the way in. Oh my God, it feels like they're ripping your boob off.
I need to not hear this, because now I'm just imagining this.
Now I really wish we had done this live. Like this.
It was the worst. And it's cold. And the nurse is like handling your titty like she's handling a fucking, like she's not being gentle or in any way. She's just like shoving it in there and like squeezing it down. I'm like, bitch, can you handle my titty delicately?
She's not handling like I would.
No, she is not.
I would hold it and caress it in the right places.
She had the same hands like how the dentist has when they're giving you a cleaning, like rough. Like that's how she was handling my titty. Like,
Those doctor hands.
The worst. Her hands were freezing cold. It was the worst.
She picked the kid's titty like, tell me about the rabbits, George.
She could have at least like rubbed her hands together to warm them first. Ice cold hands pulling on my titty. Come on.
Okay, so note, Joey, before you grab Candace's titty, blow hot into your hands and rub them together. That way they feel more comfortable. Gotcha.
I mean, nobody wants ice cold hands on their touching their body.
I feel like that's how you get away without being a thing. Well, my hands were cold. Were cold as ice. I couldn't feel nothing, so it doesn't count.
My hands were numb. Your titty was numb. It doesn't count that way.
This isn't sexual.
So then they said that they wanted me to come back for further like they want to check more. So I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? Because
a lot of titty
they
could check. They could check it all.
My thought. They could check the whole titty in one sitting.
Got a lot to check.
They can only check a half a titty at a time. All right, fine.
We only got through 1.5 titties today in your scheduled appointment.
We need to come back in 2 weeks for a follow-up.
I'm sorry, the nurse inappropriately weighed your first titty visit, so we didn't account for the amount of time necessary.
Wait, you know what it feels like? You know how when they put that sleeve on your arm to take your blood pressure and they just keep squeezing until they can't squeeze it anymore?
Yeah.
That's how it feels, but on your titty.
I've squeezed a titty like that a couple times in my life.
It's unnecessary. It's not pleasant.
You squeeze it until it's you hold on tight to it, especially a big one. You got to get around it like this, Joey.
I always like flex back at the machine because I want to win.
But when have you had a mammogram, sir?
No, I'm talking about the blood pressure machine.
Oh no, you push pressure back to.
I try to see who's
gonna win this pressure.
Robot. You can't beat me, robot man.
Joey's like, this AI ain't gonna beat me. Joey's over there fighting Skynet at his local CVS.
Strangle me, Botnik.
Oh my goodness! But I mean, I hope everything comes back well.
Yep, we'll see. They saw whatever they saw. They were like, "You need to come back, and we need to see something again." I was like, "Oh shit!"
It should. That looks like a very healthy pair of titties. I don't think anything's wrong with them.
I hope so.
And if anything is wrong with them, I'm always here to give hugs and support them.
It'll be some type of benign thing. There'll be a nodule or something.
Yeah, it's usually a
nodule. Yes.
Cross my fingers for you.
I am too.
Hoping they just saw a nodule. That's irrelevant.
Hoping they don't have to go in there and ruin God's work.
Yeah, we'll see. I go back next week.
I don't know why I think that way whenever like someone says something's wrong with a titty. I go, don't go there fucking with God's work. God made them titties some way, somehow. Don't fucking. That is how they're supposed to be. It's supposed to be lumpy. Those titties are supposed to be lumpy.
Oh my God. There's no lumps. Don't say that.
No lumps. You don't have any lumps. You don't have any lumps. It's probably a pimple that caused a shadow. All you need to do is get your fiance to pop it for you.
This is getting weirder by the minute.
You not have pimply titties, but I appreciate the sentiment.
The underside probably may get a pimple. It's a cavernous area because it sweats down.
They're
there.
not gonna. All right, never mind. Hey, we do have some topics this week.
We do. Speaking of
Dahmer.
Okay, so here's what we'll do, Joe.
So they made a Jeffrey Dahmer show on Netflix. The end.
Joey, I asked you to please just watch the first episode.
I don't want to watch a show about somebody eating people.
And
yeah, I didn't want to watch you, but I could not stop watching it. It was just,
especially
oh my God,
eating black people, because that's what he did. He specialized in eating black people.
That's not the truth. When we talk about it, I'll tell you exactly.
Okay. All right, so we're gonna talk about Dahmer. That'll be this week's what they're watching.
Mm-hmm.
You got anything for what they really want?
I do not. Krishan and Blueface broke up, but I don't even know who they are. Apparently, everybody on Twitter does.
Yeah, because they got a sex tape out.
What is that?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I said. But apparently, Twitter knows they have a sex tape.
Yeah, their sex tape came out too.
Krishan
sold the sex tape after they broke up.
But here's the thing. I feel like I don't even know who they are, but I feel like they'll be right back together because that's what happens in toxic relationships.
Yeah, Blueface is a rapper. He's a weird rapper. He's like one of those special needs rappers.
What?
A special needs rapper. What city is he out of?
Florida.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's one of that gaggle of weird ass rappers out of fucking Florida with tattoos on their face.
I like how the fact that he's from Florida, she just accepts it. Like,
okay, yeah.
Okay. Right, like all of this is some fuck Florida shit. Some Florida fuck shit, I should say. Although Florida does have Trina and Trick Daddy, and I like them. Flow Rider was okay. Honestly, those are the only three rappers I can name from Florida. Give me another one. Oh, Vanilla Ice was from Miami.
Isn't Bad Bunny from there?
Yes, Bad Bunny's from there. So is
Bad Bunny's from Cuba or Puerto Rico or some shit. Like he just lives in Miami now.
I'm pretty sure he's Cuban.
Oh, Rick Ross. Okay, yeah, Ross. All right, what else?
So is DJ Khaled.
DJ Khaled is not from Florida.
Yes, he is. He's from
New York, I believe.
No, he's not. He's from Florida.
What part of Florida?
He was born in Florida.
Get out of here! Did not know that.
Because he's like Middle Eastern, so like there's a big Middle Eastern population out there.
Oh, interesting. Did not know that. I pegged him for a New Yorker.
Yeah,
Just because of his like bravado is very New Yorkish.
he got a lot of hits out of New
Actually,
York.
he was born in New Orleans.
Oh,
Oh, yay.
well, c'est passé, ma boule.
According to Wikipedia, he was born November 26, 1975 in New Orleans, Louisiana.
And he's
Where did they
old.
grow up?
I think him and Candace may have
Maybe
been
the whole
born in the
early
same hospital.
Uh,
Oh God.
Palestinian parents.
Yep, told you Middle Eastern.
It doesn't say anything. Oh, wow. This is like the shortest early life section I've seen on any of these. Kyle was born in November 26, 1985, New Orleans, to Palestinian parents who immigrated to the United States. His brother, Alec Led Allah Khaled, is an actor. His musician parents played Arabic music, and Khaled started developing an interest in rap and soul music at a young age, and his parents supported his interest. He worked at a local merry-go-round record store, which helped lay foundations for his music career.
Okay,
That's everything.
that's everything from his early
That's
life.
his whole early life.
Well, shit. DJ Khaled's not the most interesting man in the world.
Womp
It was
womp.
like, yeah, DJ Khaled was born and then he started doing music. Like that's what they basically said. That's all they said.
He was born. His parents were musicians. He started doing music. Next, what?
Period. Exactly. That's all you need to know. Like what? What kind of fucking section is that?
All right, so we're gonna get into that. We're gonna get a couple more things, some topics going on this week. Joey, what's some topics?
Okay, in 2018, he purchased a waterfront home in Miami.
2018.
Okay, so he's not from Miami. He moved there in 2018.
No, he also owns a home in Los Angeles.
That's okay. That sounds better. I don't know why. So New York is nowhere in the story. I just pegged him as a New Yorker.
He's never been to New York. He's never been to New York for anything.
I mean, one of the photos here is him wearing a Yankees jacket, so maybe that's where you got that from.
He
Maybe.
produced for a lot of New York rappers. Though. He did.
That's also, yes, he produced for a lot of New York rappers, so I just assumed that he was a New Yorker.
You go where you're wanted.
Pretty much. When they want slick ass beats, they go to DJ Khaled. And I guess when he was in his prime, he was doing good things. So, but yeah, we're gonna get into some more shit going on in the world, man. When we come back in a minute on the shit, did it go away? Yep, Dot Comedy Podcast.
I got a stack for the waitress. I got a stack for security. And I got 5 for the bitch that I'ma fuck while she wearing my jewelry. And I got a couple $100 for the nigga that parked my whip. And I got a lot more in my pocket. Somebody better stop it. That ain't shit. That's just tips.
And this segment of That Comedy Podcast is brought to you by Comedy Shows Near Me. That's right, Comedy Shows Near Me every Thursday night at McGinty's Public House in downtown Silver Spring. You can see some of the best comics in the DMV and in the country. We've had comics from all over the country come in and rock the stage. You should be in attendance every Thursday. Doors open at 7. Show starts at 8. Comedy Shows Near Me. It's going to be a blast. Who's on the show this week, Joey LaFaro?
Headliner Haywood Turnip Seed Jr. is coming back in the building. We
Podcast
got
fan.
feature Mikey Favor coming down from New York. And we have returning former guest spot J-Rock coming up from Richmond. So round out our cast. And it's all going to be hosted by the wonderful Miss Chocolate.
Awesome, man. It's going to be a good episode, good show. And I'm going to be there spinning records, having a blast just like every week. It's going to be another good week. Comedy Shows Near Me. That's at the McGinty's Public House in downtown Silver Spring. Comedy Shows Near Me.
And I forgot, we're also having former podcast guest Miss Sin in the building. So
Miss Sin will be in the building too. All right.
we hope. I'm going to keep my fingers crossed.
Keep my fingers crossed for Miss Sin.
Third time in the count.
Oh, man. And we're back into That Comedy Podcast. DJ Marcus, Joey LaFaro, and Candace August. That's just tips, Joey.
On the CCMMA fight line.
On the CPMMA fight line is Candace August.
I think so.
Say what now? What I missed?
Sponsors,
We're
Candace,
trying to
that's
get our
right,
sponsors. Taken care of. And the CPMMA Fight Line is sponsored by College Park MMA, home of titles and titled people. and people who are ready to whoop your ass as soon as you walk in the door. CPMMA. Ain't that right, Joey?
Yes. Speaking of MMA, guess
Okay.
who's taking his aggressions out in the octagon?
Who?
CEO Mark Zuckerberg.
Oh, he about to die. He about to die.
According to entrepreneur.com, Mark Zuckerberg has been doing MMA training as a workout and could be on his way to becoming one heck of a fighter.
No shit.
Entrepreneur previously shared on the Joe Rogan Experience that he had developed an interest in the sport. But this week, one of his training partners at Guerrilla Jiu-Jitsu Academy in San Jose, California, confirmed he is holding his own as a fighter after participating in private training sessions over the past couple months.
Good for him. It must be nice to have enough money to just do whatever whim you know what I mean? I'm interested in a lot of shit. Like one time I want to learn Japanese and one time I want to do badminton. It must be nice to have enough money to actually just act on those things.
I mean, I just saw Tom Hardy got a medal or something doing the same shit.
No, this motherfucker woke up one morning and was like, you know what I want to do? MMA. And he has billions of dollars so he can hire a personal trainer and build an octagon in his fucking backyard. So that's what he did. He was like, I want to do MMA, so I'm going to do MMA. Good for him.
Okay. We'll see how this shit works out. That's how I feel about that. I am not I'm not hopeful at all for Mark Zuckerberg being good at this.
Fucking little bitch.
Who's that?
I mean, he's not aspiring to compete.
But he's in a lower weight class, and I don't want to lose that much weight. He's only 154 pounds.
Oh, that's very little.
He's only 154 pounds. So I would need to lose like 100 pounds to be able to fuck him up.
Oh, he is slight because he's 154 pounds, but he's tall, right? I think everybody's tall.
5'7".
Oh, 5'7". Okay, everybody's 5'7" today. So Jesus.
I'm taller than these bitches. Let's go.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
I
Tiny men all over the place. Oh my god.
I tower a whole half inch above these little bitches.
Oh my god, that's Candace's response to it. Oh my god.
I'm mad that everybody's short.
Putin and Zuckerberg. Let's go.
Like fucking celebrity death match. You just throw y'all in the ring and just go at it.
I mean, I outweigh both of them, so.
Oh man. Hey, we got a returning segment, Joey.
What is that?
It's called What They Watching.
Yes, I'm ready.
Yeah. Shit I do for a living, nigga. Shit I eat for a living, nigga. So I live for a living, nigga.
I like the theme song for this song.
I didn't realize. I didn't know where you were going with this. But.
You heard the song before.
No.
It's called The Watcher.
Okay.
But I'm a little too famous.
Oh man, but we had some new shows come out on Netflix. Netflix decided that they wanted to go down the true crime rabbit hole once again.
Mm-hmm.
This time they went crazy.
This time they did a dramatization instead of a docu-series.
Mm-hmm. So what is the new dramatization? It's called Monster, the Jeffrey Dahmer story. Okay.
And it was such a bold, work. They did a really good job, expressing that the emotion and they did an excellent job with it. I think they didn't make like a cheesy horror flick. You know what I'm saying? They really took it seriously. And when you watch it, you'll see.
Okay.
They took great strides for accuracy in a lot of areas. They also took poetic license in some areas, obviously. But there's a lot of accuracy in it as well if you go and research the case independently.
All right. So here's my thing about Jeffrey Dahmer. I don't want to hear about him anymore. The dude that killed him did an interview this week.
Oh, did he? I didn't catch that.
I think either the interview this week or the old interview resurfaced.
There was some singer named Life that said Dahmer asked him to sing for him when they were cellmates.
Who, Life Jennings?
Yeah.
It sounds about right. But Jeffrey Dahmer, I mean, I don't want to keep watching. I don't want to watch slave movies.
It is chilling. I couldn't
Or
sleep after
psychopath
the.
movies that are
I
real.
couldn't sleep. It's bad. It's very chilling. So I watched the first one because it's all over Twitter, you know, and I wanted to join the conversation. And so I had to like fight to get through the first episode, and I could not sleep that night. And then once I finished it, once I finished that episode, I'm like, okay, well, now I'm invested. I want to go to the next one. It's literally horrific.
He ate people.
He ate people, yes.
How much horrificness do you need? I don't need to know what happened. I don't need to know the mind behind the crazy guy that ate
He
people.
also fucked them after he.
Yep,
He killed them,
people.
and ate them.
Yep, he killed, he murdered, he drugged them, he strangled them to death, he had sex with their corpse, then chopped them up, then ate their organs. Like just a complete monster. Like he also was arrested and jailed for molesting children.
As far as the order goes, right? Like,
hold on a second, Joey. You making a?
I'm just
you about to make a real bad.
I'm just saying, like, you're like a complete, but like he could have been worse. He could have done those things and then killed them.
Okay, that
they ate them, sodomized them, and then killed them.
Yes.
I guess he did do them in a logical order. Yeah.
He did them in a merciful order.
Yeah.
Okay,
also,
both of you on that
if those are your kinks.
That's ridiculous.
He also murdered on his list of victims 2 14-year-old children. He was also convicted and jailed for child molestation for a child who he drugged and fondled. Also, that same boy who he was convicted of child molestation, he actually killed that boy's brother. So that family lost 2 children to this monster, right? One they lost completely, and one was damaged irreparably.
Well, the worst part was like that. Like, the last guy that he killed, the cops just like looked at him. He was like dragging him or something, and the cops.
That's the boy. Like, that's the 14-year-old boy.
Asked him like a question. He's like, "Yeah, but I'm a white guy." And then the cops were like, "Yeah, I guess you are." They let him go.
And that's the other thing too that the series does. It does a good job of exposing the institutionalized racism and homophobia that allowed Jeffrey Dahmer to keep killing for so long.
Right. No one wanted to ask the uncomfortable questions, so they just let him kind of get away with all this shit.
Yeah. And the way that they did it in the dramatization, and I don't know how factual that was, but like whenever the cops questioned him, he led with, "Oh, we're just gay." Like that's the first thing that came out of his mouth because he knew that would make the cops feel uncomfortable and stop asking further questions. So he weaponized his homosexuality, right, to like prevent the cops from asking more questions. Also,
white men do.
Huh?
White men do that all the time. They don't. They're a minority and oppressed people until the cops come around, and it's so. And I hate. I don't want to talk. I don't like this. You know why I don't like this, Joey? Because and Candace, because it feels to me like we keep putting these psychopaths on a pedestal. And we should just forget about them and let them.
I don't see it like that. I see it as honoring the victims and also showing.
Families don't want to see this shit.
It is definitely
okay.
The victims.
The victims' families have all come out and said, we don't like the fact that Netflix, A, didn't get our permission to do this. And B,
there's no way that they didn't get the permission. They used the people's names and likenesses.
It's public record.
Oh. Yeah, but they use these victims like names and likenesses and everything. So,
but it's part of the public record, so they can use it. It's nothing legal. They didn't have to go to any of these families and go, "Oh, can we use your family member's likeness?" No.
Is that how that works? You could just do it if it's public record.
If it was a murder trial that happened and they actually say, "Okay, we've proven that he murdered this person," that person's likeness can be used at a certain amount of time. So I think it's after 20 years.
Yikes. Okay, I didn't know that.
So none of these families who are still probably mourning the loss of their relatives, and Netflix decides to make a series about their misery.
Wow.
Right. So I wanted to address something that you said, Marcus. I don't know if this was when we started broadcasting or before. You were like, you didn't want to talk about it because he kept killing Black people. Were we on air when you said that?
Yeah. So
Okay. So I had something to say about that too. So the narrative that people are trying to push is that he was targeting Black people. But if you watch the series and also read up on the actual facts of the case, he was forced by his dad to go and get an apartment. And he was living with his grandma. This is a person who does not have a lot of money, right? He worked at like a chocolate factory or a candy shop or something, like a wage worker. And his father told him, your grandma can't take your shit anymore, so you have to go get your own place. So this is not somebody who has a lot of money to live on the Upper East Side. He was poor, and he lived where poor people lived. And we all know that impoverished communities are mostly Black and brown people. So he was preying on who was around him. So yes, racism played a part in it, but I don't think his murders were racially motivated. I think because of institutionalized racism, he was able to target Black people because that's the neighborhood he lived in because he was poor. Does that make sense?
Sounds like Candace is justifying this mass murderer.
No, absolutely not. I'm just saying that's why so many Black men died, because before he moved into that neighborhood, you can see the first couple of victims, those were white guys.
Yeah, when he was in college.
He just he just killing what's around. Okay.
Exactly. He's killing what's around. And because he was poor, he was in a Black neighborhood.
And it was going to be harder for him to hunt rich white boys.
Okay.
When he wasn't around them.
He's not around them.
He's got to get, he's got to.
I'm not making excuses at all. I'm just saying that's why a lot of his victim list is Black, because of where he lived. That's who was around him that he could kill.
Okay. All right.
It was in Wisconsin, though. I have to believe there were
plenty of white people.
Poor white people around. A poor white community could have moved to.
Okay. Another good point. Yep. I'll take that. I'll take that.
And they use that same crazy guy that they use in all the movies now.
Yeah.
To play him. And it's like, if I see that kid's face one more time playing crazy, I'm going to think he's a serial killer. He's played the crazy guy in every show. Like he's been in every American Horror Story.
Here's what I don't like.
Just
in his
looks
Wikipedia
nuts.
page, there's a crudely hand-drawn, like I guess it's on I don't know what it's on, but it's a crudely drawn sketch that he turned in that's like an altar he was planning to make.
He had an altar that he set up in his grandma's house.
And painted skulls.
Yeah, because his dad was a what is it?
Incense and a lamp.
Dad was not a taxidermist. His dad just showed him how to do that type of stuff.
Yeah, he knew how to do taxidermy. So his dad showed him how to polish bones and shit.
How does his dad know that?
It was like a hobby. So if you watch like if you watch the series, it says that this is the first thing that he showed interest in. So they found like a dead raccoon or something under the house. And it was the first thing that he said he saw Jeffrey show any interest in. So he was like, oh, okay, let's go into this because I see some light in your eyes. So they opened it up and he showed him the entrails, the heart and everything. But it was supposed to be like an educational type of thing. You dissect a frog in school, not like I'm making a serial killer.
You don't.
What the fuck?
That's why you don't show people that shit at home.
Yeah, but he showed him this at the age of like 6 or something.
Did they talk about his childhood in the show at all?
They did. They did.
Well, his parents were divorced or separated.
The parents divorced when he was 18. They talked about how the mother had suffered from mental illness, so she was on a boatload of pills while she was pregnant with Jeffrey. The father blames her for him becoming a murderer because it's like you basically fucked up his brain while he was in the womb. Then they also had a very rocky marriage. So he saw a lot of fights and stuff while they were younger and didn't get a lot of attention, right? Because their marriage was so horrible and their energy was focused on that. And then also he got into the taxidermy stuff.
Okay, she apparently attempted suicide with something called Equinil.
Yeah.
Twice. She attempted it twice. At least in the series, she did it twice. And also when she first overdosed, he was the one who found her, at least in the series. And he's like, I want to say 5 or 6, maybe 6 years old. And he finds his mom overdosed and has to call the cops.
Yeah, there's also something in here about he had been an energetic and happy child, but became notably subdued after double hernia surgery.
Yep. And so that's another thing that the father thinks is contributory, is that he thinks that they over anesthetize him during the surgery because he said he was never the same after that surgery. Like
How do
his
you get a
person.
double hernia at 3?
Fuck was he
He
picking
wasn't
up?
even 4.
Yeah, I don't know, but he said that they fucked up his brain during that time. Oh, and this is the
I'm
thing.
concerned about how he happened to have a double hernia. That's not a normal injury for a child of that age.
Don't know, but I will say this. This is the thing that was so like what's the word I'm looking for? So impactful. The most impactful scene I think in the entire series is in the first episode when they call his dad in. And the police call his dad in to tell them what's going on, right? What they found. And so they were like, yeah, your son was arrested for attempted murder. And the dad goes, oh, when you said that this was about murder, I maybe thought somebody was trying to murder him, right? So the father's completely blindsided by all of this. And so they said, no. And then the father's like, well, who did he try to murder? And the cops paused for a minute and they were like, he has committed multiple murders. We found torsos and skulls. We found heads in his freezer. We found hands under his bed. And from the debris on the kitchen knives, we believe that he also ate the victims. And I'm just thinking, like, putting myself in that father's shoes, like you are coming there thinking that your son was the one victimized. And then you find out he is a murderer and a necrophiliac and a cannibal all in one sitting. Like, I can't imagine how that must have felt.
I can, because you look at your kid and you know when they're crazy. You know, he knew, his dad knew. He just shoved it away.
I don't know if you know, because so you're the only one, Marcus, of us that has children. So imagine yourself in that position. They're telling you that your child has done all these horrific things. I think the first thing that I would think, and this is also what happened in the series, is what did I do wrong? What did I miss? Was there something that I did that caused this? You know, the father was like blaming himself and blaming the mother for the pills and everything. But I think that's the first road you go down is, number one, how did I cause this? And number two, how did I miss the signs?
Well, every parent, whenever a kid gets in trouble, the parent's first thought is, what did I do wrong? Why did my kid do this wrong?
Mm-hmm.
Is it my fault?
Right.
But then that goes away really quickly when you find out I ain't never do this shit around my kid.
Right.
If I look at my daughter and I go, well, I don't know why Haley's doing blow off a stripper's back, and I'll go, oh yeah, I did talk about doing blow off a stripper's back. It'll make sense. But if I find out that she's doing all types of weird shit, I'm like, I've never put myself in a situation where she would think that is right.
But I also can see it's to some degree. There's also the aspect of like, there's like did they get it from me? And then there's the why don't I know about this? Like those could be.
It was all of that. It was all of those things.
I'm saying
and
those
so
are separate pieces to it. Like because you could they obviously kids are going to have multiple. You're not going to be able to control everything that they're exposed to, but what you can control is your relationship with them as far as what they're willing to tell you and making sure that you know when they're telling you the truth, when they're not, when they're comfortable talking to you, when they're not. And so that's something that probably would be the thing I would say is where you kind of gotta zero in as a parent and go, why is my relationship with my child so broken that I don't know who they are?
Yeah.
Exactly. And the other thing too was that his father was still at the point of processing the fact that his son was gay, right? He still hadn't accepted that. And then you got to sit there and find out that he's a pedophile and a necrophiliac and a murderer and a cannibal. You know what I mean? And you still working on gay. Like you still can't accept that part. So it's just wild. Yeah. And to your point about, feeling like you should have a relationship where your child can tell you this, he couldn't, right? So he couldn't even talk to him about the homosexuality. And so if you can't talk to your parents about just that, your sexual feelings, and how are you going to tell them that you have murderous feelings?
Right.
Sure. I can see that.
So the moral of the story is, don't be judgmental, be open, and be a person who your children feel comfortable coming to, no matter how uncomfortable the situation is. Is that the moral?
No, my daughter, my children, all of them in the future and all of them now, they all understand that they can come to daddy and talk about anything. The rest of you mofos don't get that privilege. I don't want to know about none of you. I don't want to know about nothing going on with you except for when your titties getting squeezed. I do want to know about that, Candace. So make sure that's informed to me.
Oh God. Oh wait. So one of the things he said was, and I forgot if this was in the series or in the actual interviews that I watched on YouTube, but he was saying a large part of my thoughts weren't shareable with anybody. Like he was like, most of the things that I think about and my urges and stuff like that, not only I didn't share them with my dad, but they just weren't shareable at all. And I was like, I bet the fuck they ain't. You in there eating people's kidneys and shit.
You can't tell too many people that you like to
You
eat.
can't. Who can you say that to? That's not that, and that's not a problem with his dad, right? Being not open. Like you can't fucking say that shit to anyone.
Yeah, most people will be like, okay, you crazy.
Exactly.
I'm a little crazy. I like to kill people, but you like to eat people?
Exactly.
That's a different goddamn
Yeah, I murder
group.
people too, but you eating them? Good, like fucking them?
You
Good
fucking
night.
eat them? That's not this group. That ain't what this group is about. This is the murder group. You supposed
Right.
we one part of it. You too many.
It is like the most extra of serial killing. Like you just, it's not like I can't just like I gotta kill somebody. Like it's not that. It's like I gotta kill them. But I also kind of want to get off.
Gotta kill them and fuck them and slice them up and eat them. Like you doing too much, Jeffrey. Good Lord. Oh, and there was another part in the beginning of the series where he said he saw a picture of a guy's obituary. It was an 18-year-old kid who had died, and he just thought the kid was beautiful. So he went to the kid's funeral, attended his funeral, and then after the funeral went to the cemetery and tried to dig him up because he wanted to, quote, lay with the body while it was fresh. So, but because it was March in Minnesota, the ground was frozen solid and he couldn't dig him up. But he said that maybe if I had been able to satisfy that urge at that time, the killing spree wouldn't have started because all I wanted to do was lay with a dead body. If this motherfucker would have been able to just get a job in a morgue, a lot of people wouldn't have had to die.
Why didn't he get a job at a morgue?
I don't know that
He could have just done that.
That's a stretch.
He could have fucked everybody
I don't think.
and snacked them because ain't nobody cared. They were
He
already
wouldn't have
dead.
been able to eat them. He wouldn't have been able to eat them, but he could have slept with them.
No, he could have ate them there too.
They have to be embalmed for the family to see at the funeral. He can't eat them.
And he wanted to hate fuck him. Did you read the part about how he wanted to have dominating,
Like it was violent sex.
Yeah, like his like it says in here that his where's the gay part?
In the movie, they kind of show him like caressing the bodies and kissing them as they're dead. So not in the series, it doesn't get depicted as overly violent.
It says when he reached puberty, Dahmer discovered he was gay. He did not tell his parents. In his early teens, he had a brief relationship with another teenage boy, although they never had intercourse. By Dahmer's later admission, he began fantasizing about dominating and controlling a completely submissive male partner in his early to mid-teens. His masturbatory fantasies gradually evolved to his focusing upon chests and torsos of the focus of his fantasies. These fantasies gradually became intertwined with dissection when he was about 16.
Wow.
Dahmer conceived of a fantasy of rendering unconscious a particular male jogger he found attractive and then making sexual use of his body.
Oh yeah, I saw that in the infographics thing about
that. Mm-hmm.
Occasionally, he concealed himself in bushes with a baseball bat to lie in wait for this man. However, he did not pass by on that particular day. Dahmer later admitted this was his first attempt to attack and render an individual submissive to him. So it was about control.
Right, absolutely. He said that.
Well, the control part comes from his family life not being in his control his whole life. So that okay, I'm gonna say something really stupid, but that's understandable. That part
not understandable. I think the word you're looking for is explainable.
Okay, explainable because none of this is right.
Understandable, right? Yeah, but it's explainable, right? And the other thing too, why he kept them is because his father would leave and stuff for days because his marriage was so awful. And so that's another reason why he would cut the bodies up and save them, because he wanted to keep the person with him. So that's another thing that can be contributed to his childhood.
Yeah.
He didn't want to leave him.
Jeffrey Dahmer. Well, may he continue to burn in hell.
I feel like there's some stuff we don't know, but
We don't need
I
to
don't want to
know.
know exactly. I don't really want to go down the rabbit hole anymore. I didn't want to go down in the first place.
All right.
So at the end of it, I think it was the last episode of the episode before last, they teased a John Gacy spinoff. So
That
we
was-
might get
That was gonna fuck people up.
Yeah, I'm not watching.
That was
we
gonna
might
fuck-
get a John Gacy dramatization series.
You thought that was bad? Let's add clowns to it.
Exactly. And then
Clowns.
to your point, Joey, Gacy did rape the victims before they were killed. So
Yeah.
there you go.
He was raping and killing.
Told you it could be worse.
This
Yep.
clown is gonna rape you and kill you. No.
Sounds like all the worst.
And
things.
Yeah.
Gacy killed over 30 people. Jeffrey Dahmer had 17. Gacy killed over 30 people, and they were all boys, like 15 to 19 years old. Yeah.
All right, so okay, so we got to make it a little lighter, Joey. You got to make the podcast a little lighter. So here first bit of lightness, okay? I recently played a song for you, Joey.
We're an hour and 16 minutes.
Yeah, we got real dark for about 35 minutes of this episode. But to lighten it up. So, a song I just played for you recently, Joey.
Which one was that?
If I Get Caught.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Hey, Candace, have you heard the song?
That song was ratchet. Yeah, you posted it in our chat.
Yes. All right. So I don't have to play it for the podcast listeners because we'll get booted off the internet. But the song basically says, "If I get caught cheating, that doesn't mean I don't love you." All right. Now I wanted to bring this to the group, just a thought experiment. If you catch your girl cheating on you, Joey, or your guy cheating on you, Candace, would you be willing to forgive them for a single indiscretion?
It's funny you bring that up.
Or would you be beholden to the natural law of, no, that's the person I'm with. They shouldn't be cheating on me. They shouldn't be having sex with anybody else except me.
I'm gonna quote friend of the podcast, Clarence Nixon Jr., aka Dude in the Corner,
Okay.
who posted this as a memory from 5 years ago today. If I'm with a woman and she fucks somebody else, there's a detachment from my heart and mind that happens. I'm not saying I'll be mad at you or I'll hate you, but it's something inside me that says this bitch belongs to the game now.
Okay.
Is that how you would feel, Joseph?
Yeah.
Okay.
Candace, how would you feel?
I mean, unless there's something unless it's like there's a clear reason for it that it's my fault somehow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, retaliation or
for you doing it.
Yeah. Or like,
or if they're not getting what they need in the relationship with you and they look for it elsewhere.
Or I kind of was hoping that they would do that. Like,
okay.
Yeah, but even then that's
you wanted to be out of it anyway.
Yeah, that would be the only way. I would have trouble, like, being in it. I can't see you being in this relationship, like in this with me, and do that.
Okay.
That means that you're not in this with me anymore. Something has changed.
Right.
All right, Candace, how do you feel?
I'm very intolerant of even the slightest things. So I feel like that definitely would be a deal breaker. But I also will say that I know that what's the word I'm looking for? Reformation is possible, because I have had a relationship where I was the one who had a single indiscretion, and it was a single indiscretion, and I was forgiven, and I never did that shit again. So I can see it both ways.
Okay. All right. So I feel as if the conversation has to be had after that indiscretion. That's where we start with. The whys have to be asked and the feelings have to be heard out. Now, if we come out of that conversation and I don't feel that it has been reconciled to what I believe it should be, then I'm out of the relationship. But if there's an understanding and it goes, okay, cool. So where do we go from here? Has to be had in that conversation too. So if she goes, okay, I cheated, but the reason I cheated was because of this, and this, like you said, Joey, If it was my fault, if I put you in a position where you don't feel like you're loved in our relationship, and that's been on me, I'm not willing to give it up, especially if I tell that person I love them at that point. But I am willing. You have to understand, you're going to get a side eye on every conversation after that moment. So that'll be where I step in with it, because I will say, okay, I'm willing to take you back, but the amount of trust you have to rebuild is kind of insurmountable. And I don't want you to feel like you're still trying to fight this battle 40 years down the road whenever you say, I'm going to the store. So it's going to be, I will put it back on that person to say, okay, do you feel like you want to be in this relationship?
I feel like that's kind of the crux of it to me too. It's like, my thing is this: I am very big on communication in the first place. So, and I think I've, like, in my current relationship, I've stressed the importance of saying everything, even if it's not necessarily something you think the other person wants to hear. Because I'd rather know everything. Like, there's no wrong answer, right? I'd rather always know what's going on. So for this to happen, the only way I would be able to get over it is you basically told me this was going to happen if something didn't happen, and I just kept ignoring you. That's the only way. That's the only way I feel like it could be on me, is you gave me ultimatums, or not even ultimatums, but you
put it out there already.
You expressed on a regular basis that you needed something from me that I refused to give.
That's how it happened with me.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But if you just don't say anything, like, that's the part that part I can't get past. If you chose, like, because I'm over communicative, so for you to just not tell me, or not say point blank what the issue is, or not make time to have that conversation, then I have a problem with that, because then I can't trust that you'll will be able to avoid it from happening again, because I can't trust that you're going to tell me things.
Okay. Now, follow-up question. Cheating between men and women. Do you think that men or women cheat more?
Men. Actually, no, it's probably women.
I believe men and women cheat differently.
I think women have more of an opportunity to do so, like an opportunity around every fucking corner.
Dick is handed to women everywhere they go.
I've watched guys hit on my girlfriend in front of me on a routine basis.
Oh yeah, to the point of me wanting to go fuck people up.
Yeah,
fortunately. But I look at it from what people classify cheating as. Men don't classify every interaction with other women as cheating. Women do classify whatever you do with someone else that is outside the scope of our relationship, that is cheating. So, like, if I'm having a conversation with a woman and I'm just talking to them and it becomes like an emotional conversation, that could be a one-off conversation to me. But if I tell my girl, hey, I had this conversation with this girl, she'll be looking at me sideways, like, why didn't you talk to me about that? And that's when it's reflected as cheating. But the way I think about life in general, if there's no care involved, it's not cheating. That's how I look at it. That's how I look at it. So
why did you bring this up? Are you thinking about philandering?
No.
He's not in a relationship.
I'm not in a relationship to philander. I'm currently.
When did y'all break up?
I was never in a relationship. I haven't been in a relationship in over 2 months now.
Okay, so you broke up 2 months ago. That's my question. Because you were
this on the podcast.
Oh, I forgot.
Thank you. Jesus Christ.
I forgot. And then you said you were on the apps and you were dating new people. Okay, I'm back on speed. Go ahead.
The young lady I'm seeing right now, we're not in a relationship. We are talking to each other. We're close. Like probably by November 19th at McGinty's Public House. We may be in a exclusive relationship because then,
that's nice.
And then she'll be mine and on my shoulder as we bring you headliners only at McGinty's Public House.
Okay, everything doesn't have to be a drop. Now tell me what brought you into this conversation? What made you think of
the song, If I Get Caught.
Okay.
Because it actually made sense to me when I first heard it. Because like as a man thinking about it, I go, if you catch me cheating, that doesn't mean I don't love you. That means something else is wrong.
Yep, that's true.
Because to men, having sex with someone does not equate a new relationship.
Right.
That's why prostitutes are a thing. Because you
It depends on the guy.
Yeah, there's some sensitive ass niggas out here that don't know how to don't know that their dick doesn't need to be long to one person.
Sensitive thugs, they all need hugs.
Joey's one of them.
You know what?
Joey is one of those sensitive thugs. Joey,
why you had to fire shots at Joey?
No, because Joey just said what he said out his mouth. So I need the world to know that Joey LaFaro is a very is a non-hoish man. Now I've known Joey for a number of years now, and Joey
I started too late.
Joey saved his dick in saran wrap for so long he has to give it to one person at a time.
Which is interesting because you come from a divorced, your parents are divorced. So it's interesting that you are so monogamous and long-term relationship type of person.
Because I'm not a quitter like my father.
Damn. A quitter.
That got real. Jesus, my bad for bringing it up.
Father was a quitting ass bitch. I ain't that. It's like, oh shit.
I know, right? I was just asking a question. He was like, "Fuck that bitch ass nigga." Oh my god. Sorry.
Truth be told, I did that more for comedic effect. But I do have the
my bad.
I have I've had a strong motivation to not repeat that.
Mm-hmm.
Not to end up in that situation. So I've been very picky as a response to what I went through and not wanting any potential kids that I have to go through that.
Yeah.
So, it's ironic because it's the marriages that stayed together in my family that make me not believe in long-term relationships versus the ones who got divorced. Because I've seen, and this is just maybe the lens that I'm looking through, but I feel like I've seen very few happy marriages. I've seen a lot of marriages that have longevity, but those people are fucking miserable. And it's just like, I feel like divorce would have been the better option for them because all they do.
Those are acceptance.
That's
marriages.
why you see the trope of like marriages, whatever. But it's like, you got to remember, you got to think about the era. A lot of women were getting married so that they could just get by. Because that time frame. So our grandparents and parents' generations, there were a lot of different ideas about who you are as a person and your individuality, partnership in marriage, and approaching it that way. I don't think that's a very new concept. Like the idea of, operating your marriage as a partnership. So we still have people like, heck, there was a clip of some guy who thought he was Kevin Samuels trying to have some relationship thing. And he had.
Are you talking about the boxer guy?
I don't know.
No, not Andrew Tate.
Oh, okay.
Not Andrew Tate.
He had.
Andrew Tate's a dick.
There was some clip going around the internet. I don't know the name of the kid, but he was like, he asked some guy he had on, what are the roles in the marriage? He's like, what roles? We're partners. Whatever needs to get done gets done. Like, yeah, but who does what part of what? And he's like, there's no. Whoever is available.
Nice. That's a very modern take, though. That's not how.
Right, and that's what I'm saying. That was such a new energy that the guy like cut him off and did the call, and tried to act like the guy was talking, gibberish.
Nonsense. Yeah.
I don't agree with that, but I don't disagree with it. I agree with it from the standpoint of women can do whatever they want to do these days, and they don't necessarily need a man to live anymore. But in a household, in order for a household to be run correctly, there has to be a head of household. There has to. Yes, there does. There does.
No, it doesn't.
There does.
Why can't there just be two equal partners? How would that be dysfunctional in any way?
It's better because you can agree on shit.
That's what I'm saying. How is two equal partners less functional to you in your mind than having a leader?
The right way. You just agree on what the right way is, and then either one of them can do it.
Yeah, exactly. So you have two people who are equally as strong.
See, that's that utopian world that people live in now. That
What?
that's when these pussified bitch ass niggas live in.
That's not.
Jesus.
I don't feel that in my soul that works.
Hold on. One is a pussified bitch ass nigga for feeling that his wife is his equal. Is this what you're saying?
Don't put that in the answer. I heard what you
I
just said.
heard. That's why I'm trying to get some clarification.
Okay, that's not what I'm saying.
Okay.
But because I'm saying that someone has to run your house in some way, shape, or form, or your house will fall. There has to be a head.
No.
Now, if that head is you today, because you have the plan for the house, then that's you today. But there has to be a head of the house, and that head has to be strong enough to maintain the home. It's that simple.
That doesn't make any sense.
Because if the balance of power,
You're saying it's a property manager? Like, what the fuck are you talking
yes.
about?
It's a very antiquated way of thinking. It's very biblical what you're talking about, like the head of the household.
I just don't think it makes any sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense in the current construct of the world. It doesn't. I agree completely. I'm not sitting here going that men have
never did, because you're saying that the head of house is responsible for what exactly?
Right.
Maintaining the home, making sure that making sure everybody's in the same lock and step every day.
So there's one person responsible for doing the plumbing and fixing the shutters, as well as doing the laundry, and
no, that one person is not responsible for that.
The kids.
No, that person dictates where everyone else goes and does. So that one person may be the person who does all those other tasks, but there are other people in that home as well. So everything is dictated out. Okay, you're better at this than me, so you do that. Because here's the thing. I've dated lots of women.
Yeah, I still don't think that's.
I've dated lots of women, and all of them have had the same kind of mindset. They were independent women who don't need a man, can do it all on their own. Mm-hmm. Okay, until something broke, and then they're either calling a man or looking in my direction. And
okay, Marcus, that has nothing to do with gender roles. You call somebody when there's something you can't do too. No, if your transmission goes out, you're going to take it to a mechanic. You don't know how to change a transmission. That has nothing to do with gender role.
Yes, I do.
When have you changed a transmission?
When I have to.
Okay. All right. My point is, you call somebody to do the services in your home that you can't. You call a plumber. You call an electrician. That has nothing to do with gender roles.
No, I don't.
Okay.
Because I learned from my grandfather that that's not what men do.
So
men don't call electricians or use mechanics.
When the podcast studio flooded, you did it all by yourself?
I didn't have to. I rent here. I pay rent for a reason.
But that's not manly, Marcus.
I know it's not. I should own a home. I agree completely. I've never said I'm the man of men, but I do say that in your own home and in your own family environment, that there are certain ways that things should be run.
But there's going to inevitably be something that you have to call a serviceman to do. Can you tile a roof? Can you pave a driveway? There's going to be something you want to call someone to do.
Into that, I could, just because I can do something doesn't mean
that's because you're a pussy.
It's not.
Because pussy, Joseph.
I changed my own fucking starter.
Nice. That's impressive.
No prior experience. But again.
But who worked with you on all that stuff?
You did.
Yes. A man taught you how to do that, Joey.
Are you glad that we spent a whole day on that?
Yes. That was camaraderie and bonding. That's why
okay. I get that. And also the satisfaction of a job you did with your hands.
And we didn't feel like paying a mechanic to do it.
Part 2. That's part 2 of that.
That's what I'm saying. Like I value my time over the amount of like paying. It costs me less to have someone do it because my time is worth more than the amount of time it would take me.
I feel I stay paying somebody to do some shit I could do myself. So I'm damn sure paying them to do stuff I can't do.
I don't.
My hourly is $40 an hour. I'm not going to pay somebody. I'd rather pay somebody $20.
Talk your shit, Joey. Talk your shit, Joey.
What is your hourly $40 an hour?
Because I'm a beast.
Should throw this bottle at you.
Hater.
I'm at 37. and I'm a little upset by that. But no, but okay. So we look at that part a lot differently.
I'm probably exaggerating. Let me actually run.
Okay, you gonna run the
I'll give you a
numbers?
real number.
But no, I look at life. I look at it as I need to learn as much as possible to do for self, so I can take care of my home without having anyone else step in to do it for me.
Okay.
That's the way.
Right, but a woman can do that as well, right? A woman can also learn to do as many things as possible in her home as well.
They can, but they don't.
Okay.
They
Or
shouldn't.
they don't? Or are you saying they shouldn't because that's the man's role?
If they want a man in their life, they shouldn't.
Wow.
I mean, it's as simple as that. If you want a man and you don't want a bitch,
you can't. So if a woman can't be capable and self-sufficient and have also a man.
A man.
Wow. You have a very dated ideal of what a woman has a man in her life for. Perhaps it's for partnership and companionship.
And I also believe that if a man can cook and clean and do all the things around his home himself, he don't need a woman.
Wow.
There's no need for if you can do it self-sufficiently, you don't need the opposite sex in your home.
You have like a 1940s view of marriages where the man went off to work in a factory and the woman stayed home to clean the house and do the children,
I have an independent mindset of if you can do it on your own, you don't need these people. But there's this stigma that
$33 an hour. Does that make you feel better?
A little bit. I'm at 37, like I said. But there's a stigma that in marriage, I don't believe if a man or a woman can do these jobs on their own, they don't need a partner. If you can do it on your own, you don't need an extra person to do it.
But Marcus, this is not the reason why people have partners. Women don't have husbands because they need someone to unclog the drain and change their transmission. They have husbands because to be the fathers of their children, to be their life partner, their companion, for emotional support. These are the reasons why you're into a relationship, not because you need the man to do your manual labor. That's such a dated idea. Huh?
And then they put them in the ground before them.
Yeah, men die sooner.
Yes.
Is that what you're saying?
Because women kill them.
I think they just have unhealthy habits and they take more risks. But they do say that married men live longer.
I think you just need to figure out what kind of marriage you want to have. Like, because there's a lot of people who are operating on I'm trying to say this without being disrespectful.
Say it how you feel, Joey.
Fuck shit logic. And then and then there's like, hey, the idea that, hey, why don't we take all these bad ideas that didn't help anybody and put them aside and just look at what we want to accomplish with our futures, and then find somebody who also wants the same shit. And then you form a partnership, and then you work on that aligned vision. Like it is more of a business transaction, but it should be this whole idea. Half the time people are trying to marry the person they love, but half the time we're too stupid to know what love is. We fall in love with the idea of somebody, in our heads versus who they actually are, because we're too busy trying to find the love, the soulmate or whatever the fuck bullshit we've made up in our heads about what that other person's supposed to be. And you're marrying an idea that's not who the person is. And that's the biggest flaw with most relationships.
Mm-hmm.
So if you strip all that away and just focus on the other part, it's, do you enjoy this person's company? And do you have the same goals?
Okay.
And then if you do, okay, let's work on that together.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm trying right now. I could be wrong. I'm only like 2 years in.
Shit gonna blow up in your face, Joey.
So that's a good point that Joey made, Marcus, is like, you don't have a wife to like do your dishes. You don't have a husband to unclog your drain. You have a partner to help you be greater, to help you achieve your life goals, and you help them.
Otherwise, you should just go get one of them African chicks because they make them do everything over there.
That's true. I mean, I'm not a I'm not an old school guy that will just say women need to be barefoot and pregnant. I believe
I
that.
think you kind of did.
That is not what I've never said that once. Don't put that. Don't put that bag on me. Because I think women should work. I think women should work. I think men should work. But then there's a home that's not going to be taken care of if both people are working. If everyone's pushing, if everyone's moving in 16 different directions, no one's taking care of the home.
Which is why you need a partnership.
Exactly.
Because then you can spread. Then it becomes a collaborative effort to run the home.
Not when I'm working 10 hours and I come home. I'm going to sleep.
But what if she's also working 10 hours?
I didn't want her to work 10 hours.
Then both of you should have enough income to cover the cost of hiring someone to run the house.
Yeah.
That is why
otherwise you're working too hard and you need to change your game.
As I sent you that message earlier today, Joey, I am proposing a new way of life for a lot of men out here. It is a heterosexual marriage between men.
Oh, so you literally proposing?
Yes, I'm proposing to you, Joseph. Me and you get married, Joey.
Good Lord.
You can go screw every woman in the world. I ain't worried about that type of shit. But we have a solid 2-income household. And if we need the house cleaned, we'll hire a maid. If we need dinner cooked, we'll hire a cook. We have solid enough numbers to do that, Joey.
You've lived with me before. Like you
we weren't making this kind of money when we lived together, Joey. We were slumming when me and you lived together.
This is true.
We were barely fucking making it. We lived together.
We were paycheck to paycheck.
Yeah, we were.
I mean, we are now too because of inflation. But
yeah, well, that's inflation. But I don't want to have, and I don't want to think about that type of shit anymore. I don't want to. I mean, I'm happy being in a relationship now. I mean, me and the young lady I'm seeing right now are in a good place. Mm-hmm. And I haven't told her the name or address for the Comedy podcast, so we're going to continue to be in a good place. So it's a matter of what she's willing to accept. Like me and her had the conversation about marriage. Mm-hmm. And what she looked forward to happen during marriage. She's like, oh, I want kids. And I'm like, okay, cool. And she asked me, now this is what women do to me every time I get in a new relationship. They always ask me if I want kids. Mm-hmm. And I have a response that makes sense to me. And they get kind of wrapped up in that response and think, oh, it's going to be the greatest thing in the world. I will be happy with or without new kids. Mm-hmm. So if I don't have any more, I'm not going to be mad. If I have more, I'm going to be just as happy.
Here's the answer that I would give if I was you. They were like, "Do you want kids?" I would be like, "I got one," and then just period. That's the end of my thought.
No.
That's not an answer.
That's not an
answer. Do you want kids? I got one. Period. That's an answer.
It isn't though,
but I would be an asshole. Because first of all,
get on my level, ho.
Yeah. Do you want kids? I got one. Like the end of conversation.
I mean, that's basically you answering no.
Yeah, that's saying no. And I'm not an emphatic no person for that. I am not a no, I don't want kids. And if you have kids, I'm gonna be upset by it. I lost that when I had mine. That all went out the window when I had mine. So now I look at it as, okay, it's if I do the things to have kids, if a kid comes up, guess what? I'm gonna be just as happy. Because I'm gonna do everything in my power to make sure that kid's taken care of and their mother's taken care of. Mm-hmm. But I'm not gonna sit here and go, I'm planning kids. I never planned the first one.
Mm-hmm.
There's no plan for that. Shit, I thought I'd be 50 before I had my first kid.
My current relationship almost ended a few weeks in when I had the epiphany that I'd be okay if I didn't have kids. Mm-hmm. And that was a moment I had to go through.
Yeah.
And I'm glad I was able to have that thought and communicate it and work through that with her out loud. Because
most people can't.
Most people would sit on it and be afraid to rock the boat there, right?
Mm-hmm.
Especially that early on in the relationship. But I was being honest and partially just to be honest, so I could be honest with myself, right? I'm not trying to convince myself of something. I think there was one point I was like, well, I always wanted to have kids because I wanted to prove I could do better. And that's not a reason to have kids.
No.
So once that went away, that's when I would kind of let go of that. But now it's more of, well, the most important thing is, if I have the right partner, then yes, I'm down.
That was one of the steps to when I broke up with the last girlfriend. She was like, I didn't know when you'd be ready to have kids.
Mhm.
And I said, but I told you, whenever I have kids, it's gonna be fine. And whoever their mother is, whoever I had kids with now, their mother's gonna be with me for the rest of my life.
Mhm.
If the girl I'm seeing right now comes to me tomorrow and says she's pregnant, guess what? We're getting married the next day.
Mhm.
Because I'm done with I don't want the 10 and 20 multiple baby mamas. I don't have enough paycheck for that. And also I don't want to have like 5 different kids coming to see me and they all look different. I don't want those problems. So I told her, she was like, well, it's going to be 5 years before you have kids. And I'm like, how do you know that? Take this condom off. We'll see how many months it'll be. You're holding back your blessing you're looking for. Because at the end of the day, you hand me a condom whenever we have sex. I don't go grab one. This is me. And if I'm having sex with you for more than 2 months,
Sounds like we've gone and hit a nerve.
if I'm having sex with you for more than 2 months, I'm ready to pull that damn thing off.
Oh my God.
I mean, because I'm not having sex with anyone else. Because I don't want to bring in another person's possibilities into my relationship. Because that was over after the first 3 times we had sex. Other people were off the table after the first 3 times. The first time we have sex, it's experimental. It's me saying, okay, is this going to be good? Because if it's trash, I'm walking the fuck away. Second time to go, okay, that nut was I had post-nut clarity and I still want to be around this person. So we're still having sex. That third time, that means everyone else is struck out. Everyone else I'm talking to is pretty much on the shelf until we break up or we find something else to do. But after that, you're my girl. I'm not really fucking around. I just don't make it official with you until I really see who you are and see how you handle certain things. When I have to tell you no for the 5th time, how do you handle that?
Yeah, I guess I could have gotten that far. That'll probably if whatever I'm doing right now it doesn't work out, that's probably going to be a similar method for me because the first 2 was 1, this one was 2, so I'm adding to the buffer.
Yeah, I mean, because I don't want
sex buffer.
I don't want you to feel like I'm not going to be there for you and my child because you see how I'm with the current one I have, and I don't even like her mother. And I still talk to her dumbass. Hate that bitch.
Damn.
Candace, can you beat somebody up for me?
I cannot.
Okay. I know you're older, so you might hurt yourself. But
I'm too pretty to be fighting. Nope.
You got all them boot camps in you.
Yeah, you got 50 boot camps.
I need my pretty face all bruised up. No, I'm too cute.
Headgear on it. Whoop our ass. That's what I want. Oh man, but yeah. So like I said, I'm good with having kids, but I can do without them as well. Candace, how do you feel? You ready to pop out a couple twins?
Wow, twins? Why I gotta?
You're starting late. You gotta catch up.
That's what mine wants. She wants twins. She wants 2, but she wants to do it one shot.
Yeah, I mean that is ideal. I think a lot of women want to do the one pregnancy, but get bang for your buck and have multiple children. But
babies pop out that damn uterus.
But the doctors will tell you that the lowest risk pregnancy is a 1 baby at a time. The more you have in there, the higher the risk is.
Yeah. Higher the risk of them eating each other. You seen that? I've seen that.
No, not them eating each other. It's just more of a risk for the mother.
They each other in the womb. They dominate each other in the womb.
That's where you're gonna go with it.
This is babies.
What? No, I never heard of that.
You never heard of baby cannibalism?
Shut up. Let me look that up.
We got a stack of topics we didn't even touch.
We don't need to touch that shit. That's everything.
I just find it funny. I was like this was a long episode. Like it was.
We got on some good shit. Like we got into our true crime.
Just was funny that like I could have saved my time on all that work.
We can overflow it to next week.
We're already 2 weeks behind on some of them.
Oh, I do want to talk about one thing though.
Like we didn't talk about Coolio because
we missed that.
Rest in peace, Coolio. But did you see Kanye West with the shirts that say "White Lives Matter"?
No.
Yeah, he's on the Twitter with his bestie Candace Owens, and they're wearing shirts that say "White Lives Matter." He is up to his shenanigans again.
I'm surprised for what they want. You didn't bring up the whole Lizzo flute fiasco that everybody's been chirping about. I don't know what the fuck.
When
that
she was
about.
blowing ancient flutes.
Yeah,
They are
everybody's
mad
about
because
it.
she is playing, I think, James Madison's flute or something. They're mad about it.
Something about that. And then Candace Owens weighed in on the same shit. And then like there was
What did Candace Owens say about it? I hate her. What did she say?
I don't know, it was something stupid. I really read the headline.
Candace
I was
hates everybody named Candace that ain't Candace. Oh,
basically she's like, I'm the Candace.
I'm
That's
the only
not true.
Candace
I don't
around.
like other Joeys. It's like a Highlander thing. I totally understand. Makes sense to me.
Oh man.
So,
Oh, but
Marcus, what you're talking about is called vanishing twin syndrome. It's when one dies and becomes absorbed in the womb. They're not eating each other.
absorbed, eat.
They
Same
wonder
thing.
twin it.
Yeah. Wonder Twins unite.
Yeah.
But yeah, I did want to talk about one thing before we get out of here, Joey.
I wanted to talk about the onion thing, but okay.
What onion thing?
Like the newspaper, the Onion.
Is it going out of business?
No, some guy got arrested for poking fun at the government. They made a parody, and on the guy's behalf, the Onion submitted a Supreme Court brief.
Oh. It was just like when like this guy got arrested for watching quote unquote child porn when he was watching an adult that just looked like a child. So the porn star had to come to court to get him out of jail. It's weird.
That is strange.
Oh man, but I did want to talk about Rachel Dolezal. Did you see that, Candace?
I don't want to talk about
Let's
that.
see what now?
Rachel Dolezal.
Yes, her OnlyFans. She has a great body. Good for her.
She got a
Amazing
bad
body.
face, but she got a great body.
Amazing body. And I think she's like in her 50s, I would guess.
Yeah.
Pass.
She's an amazing body. I was like, okay, Rachel.
I had to hit a whole tip drill with that because it must be her ass because it ain't her face.
I
Her face
Yeah.
is the worst.
couldn't get out of there fast enough.
But I mean, she's not like ugly. She just doesn't have she's not super pretty.
I disagree.
No, her
You think
face
she's
is
ugly?
ugly.
Really?
Her face
No.
is ugly.
I can leave all of that behind.
Joey don't like white women anyway.
Did you have seen the pictures, Joey? Her body's amazing.
No,
Joey, she's black though.
no, she's not.
She's transracial. Rachel the transracial.
She identifies as black.
Yeah, I'm gonna see if my credit score go when I just start identifying as Hispanic.
That's all right. You know my type. They can't be that light skinned. That's too much.
Yeah, you don't like light skinned women anyway. You like dark skins with big booties, don't you? I know you over there. I watched you. I watched you pick.
You gotta take a look at these nudes, Joey. I mean, she really has a nice body.
I really don't. I really okay never knowing that exists.
All
Okay,
right.
fine.
So it'd be Lizzo and Rachel Dolezal in that chat in our
Like,
chat.
I have the whole internet of porn, and at any time I have the choice of looking at like Lacey Duval yet again,
Who is Lacey
ever
Duval?
looking at Rachel Dolezal.
Lacey
Who-
Duval is probably a hometown porn star. She was born and raised in DC,
Oh, okay.
but she is a phenomenal porn starist. She was
Not porn stars.
She was great in the early 2000s. Now she's swollen.
I haven't seen any recent ones.
Oh, you haven't seen her OnlyFans?
No.
Ugh.
I mean,
It's just her. It's just she
Again.
looks swollen.
I'm good. There's
But you know how much Rachel Dolezal is only $9.99 a month.
What, her OnlyFans?
OnlyFans.
but
You subscribed?
No, I didn't subscribe.
Oh.
She didn't have enough content. You have to have at least 25 pictures and 15 videos for me to subscribe to you.
All right, Joey, I sent it to the chat.
no.
Check it out.
Ugh.
Check
Okay.
it out. I wonder if this is surgery. Because I mean,
It looks
That's-
it looks really fit for her to be
yeah, she's extremely fit. Maybe she just be in the gym. I don't want to be a hater, but this is
I'm putting that shit on ignore right now.
all right. You won't be disappointed. I'm trying to tell you.
I am already disappointed. I'm
All right, fine.
already dying inside.
Stop being racist, Joey. Stop being racist.
Joey don't like white people. Keep telling you that.
Mm-mm.
He grew up with big butts and slang for his whole life. He don't like white people.
Had my fill.
Oh man, but what else? Okay, let's do some rapid fire shit, Joey, before we get out of here.
Oh, wait, hold on. Real quick for what they want. Nia Long got cheated on.
Yes.
Yes, she did. And it was a sin and a goddamn
Did we talk
shame.
about that last week?
No.
No, we haven't talked about that. Nia Long, she's so pretty. Not that you can be pretty enough not to get cheated on, but I'm just saying.
I mean,
I don't know the details of all, but that whole thing sounded fucked up.
yeah,
He's an athlete or a record producer or something. I forgot.
No, he's
like the
coach.
president of
He's a coach.
Is he coach or was he the GM or something?
He's coach.
Okay.
He's coach. He was fucking the person who did the travel. White
The
woman.
coach of what team?
Celtics, yeah.
Nia Long lives in Boston?
Apparently.
She does now.
That's random.
At least she was before all this shit happened.
I know. She probably moved back to where she's from now.
But what else happened? There was somebody else that got cheated on. Not cheated on, or somebody moved or something. God damn it. Anyway, go ahead, Joey. Rapid fire. Do two.
I don't even remember what I was going to talk about.
Well, fuck it. We'll get out of here then.
Remember LeGarrette Blount?
No.
He was a running back. He was a big dude. He used to run over a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
He originally turned heads in college because he got in a fight and he hit somebody with a helmet. And everybody's like, oh, no, he's going to go undrafted. And then he did. And then he had a successful NFL career because they were like, oh, but big dudes are hard to tackle. Well, he's been retired now for a little bit. And he is coaching a youth football game on Saturday in Gilbert, Arizona.
Uh-oh.
There's now a video showing Blount chasing after someone following the game. This supposedly came after a problem he had in the handshake line. Blount, who was in a black shirt that said coach on the back, was seen throwing 2 punches on a man in a white shirt. Blount had to be restrained.
I've been in those handshake lines. And it's some most disrespectful shit on some when you're walking past some people.
Yeah.
And I could see emotions being a little high. Like when we our last game against Pape Ranch. This is my senior year. And I walked past a bunch of dudes I've been playing against for 4 years, right? Yeah. But since our schools hated each other with such a passion, there was no like teamsmanship or sportsmanship coming through that goddamn line. It was shake hand, fuck you. Shake hand, fuck you too. Shake hand. And then when they got on their bus to leave, it was fuck all y'all as you're leaving the parking lot. And that was how we felt at the end of that game. So I know how that type of incident can happen. Because again, athletes are assholes by nature, and we're aggressive. So once we get our feelings, aggressive assholes are the worst people to have feelings.
Yep.
It's just that simple. Aggressive assholes are the worst feelings ever because they don't know how to control anything they're saying out their mouth, and they will punch you in the face, i.e., Ron Artest and the rest of
This is like his third or fourth time he's just gotten into a fight around a football game.
Of course.
Speaking of mental health, Megan Thee Stallion cares about yours. She has created a website called Bad Bitches Have Bad Days Too, which offers a vast free therapy organizations.
There you go, Candace. See?
Bad Bitches Have Bad Days Too. All right. That's a good name.
Is it 2 or 2?
2, TOO.
Okay. Just make sure Candace gets to the right site.
Yep.
Yeah, okay. I like it. I like anything where a Black person does a mental health initiative because it's just so overlooked in our community, I feel like. We have a community of suck it up, be hard, type of thing, get over it, deal with it, move on, keep going. And so when any Black person does a mental health initiative, I think it sends a great message.
Have you seen the latest season of Atlanta?
No, I don't watch the show.
They did an episode where Donald Glover's character goes to therapy, and it is awesome.
Donald Glover's character goes where?
To therapy.
Oh, okay.
It shows him like, and his friend is like, his cousin's making fun of him for it. He's like, "Hi, so I made you so much money, you're gonna throw it all away." So, and he goes to the therapist, and he like is getting help with all these issues, and he tells him the story about how these different like these quote unquote microaggressions. Then there may not be that micro, but kind of stuff like that, where he's like just encountering these things where the racism keeps popping up in his life, and he can't really do much about it. But at the end of it, he's like, I don't think I'm gonna take a break from therapy for a while. You really helped me. And then you find out that he has spared no expense to ruin this woman's life because this lady prevented him from getting on a flight over nothing.
Really?
Yeah. So this TSA agent was being like doing this racist bullshit, making up excuses why he couldn't get on a flight to go do something. That he had like worked through some issues to go to this event so he could like face his past and all this stuff. But then this lady prevented him from getting on the flight. So he engineers this whole thing to trick her into quitting her job for this children's book she wrote, and like sets up this whole thing with like child actors to like go sit at a reading of the book, and then like make fun of the book while he's reading it.
That's a lot of levels of petty right there.
It was so deep, but it was just like, but it was sorry. I saw it. It was really clever because they touched on mental health and then showed, but this is probably what would happen if you could actually afford it.
Oh yeah. Oh shit yeah. Black pettiness outrules mental health every day of the week.
Apparently.
We will get revenge before we talk about our feelings about something. Oh man, it's been fun.
Comprehensive. I'm checking it out. It's a really good resource. So cool.
Real quick before we get out here, a few Arapahoe notes. Herschel Walker, after being a noted proponent of pro-life, paid a woman to get an abortion. So that came out.
All Republicans do. Let's not play that game.
I mean, he's not that bright. James Earl Jones is retiring as Darth Vader.
Yes.
Who's taking over?
Computer. I read about this. So they're going to use a computer to simulate the words he said over the years. So it'll be a computer just chopping his voice together.
Oh, so a computer generated James Earl Jones.
Yeah, so it'll be his same voice, but the computer will pick the lines to say.
It was already robot-y.
Yeah. So it'll just seem that way. It'll seem that way if you get to keep going.
That's something making it easier for him, so he doesn't actually have to do work.
Yeah, he can still get residual checks.
Yeah,
and he doesn't have to work.
Good for him.
One story that I wanted to get to, we didn't. The Army's first trans officer was indicted for spying for Russia.
See, told you.
Forgot we didn't get to that.
You can't trust them.
And Shakira is on trial for tax law or tax fraud.
That's so old.
It was for last week, and then we didn't have an episode.
I think it's been since months ago.
She's on trial for tax evasion.
Tax evasion, yeah.
And finally,
and didn't Rick and Martin fuck one of his nephews or something?
Yep.
Did we talk about that?
Or made sexual advances toward his nephew.
Yeah, he made sexual advances toward a nephew.
I didn't read that. I didn't come across my desk. But you know what did? The Daily Show will be continuing on without Trevor Noah.
Oh, yep. Who's taking his place?
They haven't said yet.
I don't think they've announced it yet.
They haven't announced yet.
I hope they pick a woman.
No.
Speaking of women, Tiffany Haddish. Did you guys see that that skit, Tiffany Haddish and Aries Spears, that they're being sued for?
I did not actually see it.
They settled it already.
They settled it, yeah. But I saw it. It is tasteless. Like, I don't know.
The worst shit in the world. Like, everything I've heard about it is the worst shit in the world.
I saw was the clip of Aries like kissing a dude.
Oh yeah, being gay in that pool. Yeah, Aries.
No. The one that they are being sued for or were sued for is much worse. It's disgusting. I don't know who thought that was funny. It's Tiffany Haddish, I guess, is a single mother or something, and she has to go run some errands, so she leaves her son with Aries Spears to babysit. And then you see all these shots of Aries Spears like licking his lips and raising his eyebrows, like looking at the little boy. It's disgusting.
Ew.
Yep, the worst shit ever.
It's gross.
And they shouldn't have made it. They should have just deleted the shit as soon as they finished with it.
Like, who thought that was funny? And what was that for? Was that just for social media?
It was for Funny or Die.
Why did he think? Oh my God! Imagine having that in your background. You come after Lizzo. Like if he had just not made that comment about Lizzo.
If he didn't fuck with Lizzo, he would be fine today, and she would be fine. Tiffany Haddish was collateral damage in that whole damn thing.
Right.
No one was thinking about Tiffany Haddish's ass.
No.
Tiffany Haddish was sitting around minding her business, and then Aries Spears had to make a comment about Lizzo.
So now they're both sitting there getting fucked up about it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's public. Now they were getting sued before it got public, but now it went from a private situation they were dealing with to a whole public fucking fiasco.
I didn't know it was already happening before this whole thing was publicized. I didn't know that.
Yeah, the kid's mom was suing them before.
Oh,
the oldest, the daughter turned 18,
and now she's suing him.
Now she sued him, and then she.
It's a kid. It's a boy in the skit.
Yeah, that's the first skit. It was two different skits.
Oh, I didn't see the other one.
The other one, I don't think they ever posted the other one. The other one was was like Tiffany showing the girl how to suck dick.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Whose ass is in the camera? Who is that?
That is Avocado Phil.
Phil, get out of the camera, sir.
Candace said, "Get out of the camera, sir."
He got to
I'll pay bills here.
get into his house.
He got to get into his house somehow. Man. Candace hasn't been in the .comedy studio in like 6
I have never been. Not this one.
He's been in Beltsville.
Yeah, she hadn't been. That's
the only one I've been to is the basement.
She was because when we were in Columbia, she did virtual.
Did she even do it then?
Yeah, she did on our 100th episode. She was.
Oh yeah, when we had 100 people.
100 episode, 100 goddamn people.
I'm gonna have to make sure that when I come to DC, I'm there for a Tuesday through Thursday, so I can do the podcast live and do the show.
There you go. See how that works?
It'll be a cheaper visit.
Yeah, and you can stay right here, Candace.
Marcus, no.
And
you got enough people in your house.
I'm offering free mammograms for that week.
You're a creep.
How am I a creep? I'm trying to help.
I will hang up this phone.
I'm trying to help. I'm trying to make sure the titties are safe. All right. But yeah, we're going to get out of here, Joe. It's been a good week, man. Where can people find you at, Joey?
LaFaro Comedy, LOFARO on Instagram, and at Comedy Shows Near.me on Instagram.
All right. Candace, where can they find you at?
Just _ Candace, KANDYCE on all social media platforms.
And you can find me at
I thought it was Thyre Gibson or something on Twitter.
Thyre Urban.
Yeah. Or
Tyrese Gibson. I'm about to change that right now.
And you can find me at djmarcus.com, all the social media platforms. And you can find me especially on Thursday at comedy shows near me at McGinty's Public House in downtown Silver Spring, spinning the hits for all y'all funny ass people who are going to be in the building. It's going to be a great show this week, so come on out. And also on the 19th of November, get your tickets now because it's going to sell out. It's going to sell out, and you're going to be sad you missed it. That's right. The comedy show near me, headliners only at McGinty's Public House, Saturday night, November 19th. Cost of tickets is $25.
Apple Brown Betty, Stacey Carver, Ashley Mayo, Tommy Simbazo, Anthony Oakes, and Justo.
That's a crazy ass lineup for a nice, great show. So come on out.
Who did y'all choose to close out? Who's going last?
I don't think we've had that discussion.
Nobody's going last. They're all headlining. They're gonna go at the same time.
Okay, all right. Somebody's got to go last. I'll be interested in who does that.
They all do 20 minutes at the same time.
Yeah.
Okay.
Closing's running the light. I can see that happening. I don't know why, but I can see that happening. But we get out of here. DJ Marcus, Joey LaFaro, Candace Soggs, and we are the Dot Comedy family. And we will see you next time. More fun and more thrills on the Dot Comedy
Comedy Podcast.